This year's Boao Forum is being held at a time of uncertainty. The global economy is slowing down, multilateralism is under threat, and China-US trade negotiations are filled with challenges. Participated in by over 2,000 delegates from 60 countries, the 4-day forum has generated practical solutions to address these issues. Now, as to who could take the lead in countering these economic challenges, the forum says it's the Asian economies. The 4 flagship reports released by the Boao Forum say Asian economies are increasingly integrated, the gap between the developed and developing has narrowed, and the economic outlook for Asia remains promising.
Building more balanced and healthy globalization will bring tangible benefits to world citizens, and this is why Asian economies should further collaborate closely with each other.
The idea that no single country can handle a global crisis on its own has been echoed by many side forums here in Boao. Panelists have called for further progress in WTO reforms and have also suggested that the Belt and Road Initiative is not China's solo show.
Any project done by any investor, any country in any part of the world is Belt or Road, as long as they promote our global regional cooperation.
Even on the technological front, panelists say it is not a battlefield, but rather collaboration is the path to success. Whether it is 5G or AI, only collaboration between industries and countries could lead to win-win development. One of the biggest highlights at this year's Boao Forum is Premier Li Keqiang's keynote speech, in which he wrote out concrete measures to reassure the world that China's opening up is going to continue moving forward.
We'll further open up our service sector, especially the financial services. Full market access for foreign investors to banking, securities, and insurance is being expedited.
Apart from measures like shortening the negative list and opening up more sectors, Premier Li says China's economy has enough resilience, potential, and ample room for growth. And China welcomes the world to join in China's market.
It's the moment art lovers have been waiting for. Art Basel in Hong Kong, Asia's leading art fair, is returning to Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center. Open to the public from Friday to Sunday, the event features 242 leading international galleries from 36 countries and regions across Asia, Europe, North and South America, the Middle East, and Africa.
It happens all the time, especially when you don't really know about this artwork. Don't worry, you can scan this QR code and you will have audio introduction in 3 different languages. Yes, okay. English.
Shahara Shiota is best known for her.
Encounters, a popular section of Hong Kong Art Basel experience in the past, is coming back under the title Still We Rise. The section is made up of 12 large-scale installations, with 8 making their worldwide debut in Hong Kong.
But what I really love to do with Encounters is create a space for the audience to have landmark encounters with works of art, to have memorable experiences with something unexpected in the context of the fair that can lift them out of their walk through the booths and place them somewhere else for a moment. And then as they re-enter the fair, give them the breath, give them the energy, give them the dynamism and inspiration to keep looking and thinking about the kind of art world that they want to live with or the work they might want to have in their own homes.
Founded in 1970 by galleries from Basel, Switzerland, the art fair showcases international contemporary art talent in Basel, Miami Beach, and Hong Kong. Each exhibition is designed to reflect the style of its host city through cultural programs.
From Switzerland to Hong Kong, Art Basel has become a renowned name in Asia's art industry. But the gallery's owners say it's just the beginning of a massive interest in contemporary art. She says people like to be involved in the culture of their own time.
In 2014, the owner of Sadie Co's HQ, a contemporary art gallery in London, was named Movers and Makers, the most powerful people in the art world by The Guardian. She's been part of the Hong Kong's art fair for 9 consecutive years.
I remember our first booth, we had to introduce pretty much every artist unless they were extremely well known, and that has changed because people have now gained a very sophisticated level of knowledge about pretty much everyone we show.
Chinese mainland art sales rose to 21% in 2017. That same year, China was ranked number 2 in global art market sales, surpassing the UK and behind the US. So it's safe to say that in Asia, art is big business, especially in China.
Tent camps were set up some 900 meters away from the Israeli frontier to host the protesters who arrived from across the Gaza Strip. At the same time, the National Committee for Breaking the Siege deployed hundreds of volunteers to help maintain the safety of protesters.
I took part in the protest to send a message that we want to break the siege imposed on Gaza on the anniversary of the Palestinian Land Day, the day in which Israel occupied our lands. We want to tell Israel and the entire world that we have a land that was stolen and we want it back.
Although organizers had called for peaceful protests, Israel doubled its forces, deploying snipers, special units and drones, and threatened that it would act violently to prevent any breach of its border.
Protesters and rioters who convened in 6 different locations. What we did see today that was different from other days was that Hamas deployed organizers on the ground dressed in orange vests, and they effectively created a situation where there were lots of rioters but significantly less violence.
The Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza confirmed Palestinians were killed, including minors, while more than 200 were reported injured. According to the ministry, the injured included protesters hit by live ammunition, rubber-coated steel bullets, and tear gas canisters.
We are sending the message that we have a homeland called Palestine. Gazans and the Palestinians want to get their rights to live in dignity and freedom, just like any other person in the world, without a blockade, aggression, or escalations. The extent that the Israeli occupation uses today with peaceful and popular protesters will dictate our pathway forward.
The Great March of Return began on March 30th, 2018, with Gazans demanding their right of return as refugees to their original homelands, now in present-day Israel.
The daily morning cattle feed is routine for farmer Hugh Broom. His family has farmed these fields beneath the Surrey Hills for generations. But now, as Britain prepares to break EU trading ties, the framework of the country's farming business is shifting.
I mean, whether you were for or against Brexit, the uncertainty that's over our farm businesses, or indeed any other business, is really unhelpful. What we'd like to see is as quick a resolution as possible with the best deal possible.
These cows are mainly raised for British beef consumers, but UK farmers also export around 1/3 of their lamb to France.
If we crash out tomorrow with no deal, so we're outside the EU customs union, on lamb, for example, there would be a tariff of 48%. So that would price us out the market.
This vast storage barn is usually full of wheat at this time of year, but now there's just a handful left.
Pricing's up and down all the time, so we've already sold all our grain for last year because we weren't going to be left with holding it with no certainty of price.
And some of that produce from the EU arrives here at this London wholesale market, where it's unpacked and passed on to the consumer. Analysts have been warning that in the event of a no-deal Brexit, those customs delays and new tariffs could push prices up. But traders here say it will be business as usual, whatever the outcome. Trader Paul Smith works through the night selling on imported produce. He says a no-deal Brexit could create opportunities to trade with non-EU countries. He also believes British growers will benefit.
It's economically sound and it's better for everyone, for local communities, everything. If there is a price increase on goods or a slow up in supply from goods from the EU, then certainly that should promote some local business in the UK. Thank you, Johnny.
But European companies trading with their British counterparts here are anticipating transport problems and price rises.
I think it'll be around 10-15%, but it will increase. So also what I think that more, smaller companies don't survive in England.
British farmers are already paying the price for the current Brexit chaos.
I have rotations in my farm of wheat and break crops, etc., and grass rotations as well. We have to plan going forward years ahead. I can't plan if I don't know where my market's going to be.
And now it's still unclear how long Brexit could be delayed. The first spring lambs aren't waiting. They're already here.